Okay, this is just going to be a quick video. It's not supposed to be anything full on or anything like that, but I just thought I'd spend a couple of minutes and just show what I found with this Losi little dirt buggy that I've got. It's done about an hour's running, and the little screw in here, it came out, and of course the uni had come apart, and that was the end of that. So I've replaced that. I was just about to get it all going, and I noticed, I know it's apart now, but before I pulled it apart, the actual driven gear that sits here had a lot of play, like a lot of movement like this. When I was spinning, I thought, oh God, what's happened there? It must have bent. So anyway, I pulled it all apart again, and so this is the gear here, and I pulled it off the centre diff here. Yeah, I know I'm not going to get any awards for videoing, but you get that. So anyway, there's a gasket that sits here and here, and holds the oil in and holds everything together. Now, what I noticed is, you can probably just see here, there's a bit of gasket torn off there. Now, the gasket seems to have been a little bit big on the OD, or not quite put in centre, and so it's sort of cocked up a little bit like this, and when it's all been done up, of course the bolts couldn't do up tight, because it was like holding up on that little corner of the gasket there. So what happened, this, instead of running true, it was doing this when you spun it. So anyway, maybe if you give yours a spin and just have a look and see if that is having a bit of a wobble, that's probably a problem. You've got to pull it apart, check the gasket, trim off the little corner there and put it all back together, and you should be alright. I don't know if it's a common thing or what, but I just thought I'd show this little thing. I'll add a little bit of video at the end of it to see if it's fixed it. Anyway, there you go. Just to follow up now, so what we've got, it's going to be hard to see, there's a little ridge there, and I imagine the gasket is supposed to sit down on that, on the bottom part of it, of the flat there. Now, what's actually happening is the gasket's a little bit big in the OD, and it actually sits up on that little lip that's there. If you ever have to pull yours apart and you get in there, you'll see it. I'm trying to hold this steady. So anyway, I've tried to put this back in, and you can actually see, it's hard, just on the corner of that gasket, see how it's pulled up a little bit, because it's actually too big and doesn't sit in there. So I'm going to just linish that down a little bit so it sits in the groove properly, and that way it'll actually sit flush on the centre diff and it won't have a wobble. So yeah, it's just a little added to the last bit of video. Okay, I've just set this all back together now on its little cradles there. Let me spin. You can see it's now true. That was wobbling about, I don't know, 1.5 mil, 60 thou. Like this, looked like it was actually bent, and I actually looked in there and you could actually see it wasn't sitting true on there. So yeah, pull it apart, and there you go. So if yours does do that, have that, which I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them do, because the gasket was actually made too big. So, or maybe it was just me, I don't know. Anyway, if that's driven gear of yours is out of true, that's the problem. See you later.